All right, we wanted to look at word layouts inside of Dynamics 365 Business Central. There's two places that word layouts can be used. So the first one is around documents. So I'm going to show you a purchase order, but they also can be used with sales order, sales invoices. It's the same process. So I'll just show you with POs. And then we also have the ability to do form letters, and I'll show you how those work as well around a customer. So let's go and do our demonstration. So open up a PO, go to purchase orders, and I'm going to go to the print option. And what you'll notice is I've got that MS blue option, which is a Word layout option. And just want to run this to the screen so that you can see what you have the ability to do then is it's much easier to control, I think, much easier to control font, color, that sort of thing with the layout. So you still have the RDL format if you wanted to run that, but this allows you more control again over those fonts and colors. Can really tailor them to your organization's specific requirements around those outputs, particularly font and color. I find that if you really want to adhere to your corporate standards, you can match the font even, and that's coming out of Business Central. So that's what we're working with is this word layout. How do I get to the word layouts? So if I open up this window, again, this report layouts is a newer feature. I think it's probably a year old now. You still have the ability to search for report layouts and manage all of the documents from there. I think this is a little easier to work with, but up to you. You go to word layout or report layouts and format and create reports there if you want to as well. So what I've got is there's a bunch of different templates that you can get that have word layouts already in them. So you don't need to create this from scratch. Start with one that's close. And I want to say purchase orders, and sales invoices. There's 6 or 7 formats that you can start with. So take a look at those. You'd know if you like them, don't like them, how close are they to what you want. Start with one of those standard ones. You export the layout then. And when you export the layout, what you get is a Microsoft Word document that is actually it's a template document. A couple things you need to know about this template document. One is you need to enable the developer tab inside of Microsoft Word, and if you go through the menu, you can just add that as a menu item, and you'll get the developer tab. So it's not complex, not something you need to go buy. It's part of it. Most people have the developer menu hidden, so you just need to expose that. What you're going to look at then is this XML map, and what you're going to see is this is actually the XML format of the report itself. So not super technical here. What you really want to look at is the standard PO report output. And what you're going to notice then are all of the fields that are in this report are available. So it's in a header row concept, the data set is. So this is your header. And then you go down here, you see I've got purchase lines, which is all the fields that are on the PO line, totals, VAT is sales tax if you're in the US, VAT, obviously, if you're in a country that uses VAT, it's VAT. But what you're going to see is all of the fields that are available for me to work with inside of this report. From here, what you'll notice is these are the fields, and it's really a right click, insert the control. So if you say you want to insert it right there, you can right click, you can insert the object. Rich text or I wanted to do plain text. So insert object, plain text. Oh, I can't do it right there. It's a word table that's been set up, so I need to be inside of an object, but you get the point. You're working with a word template at this point. Fonts, graphics if you wanted to add a logo. I can change color of all that inside of Word. You still have that same, open, insert, delete, all of the same functionality that you would inside of Word in general. You still have those available. Just a couple of notes. One thing to note is that the line item section here is actually a repeating row section. So you're going to see a single PO line that essentially expands based on the number of lines that you have on that particular report. So just know that that's how that line section works. This is your standard header and footer. So as you work with the report itself, you just modify what you need in terms of the header and footer, but it's using Word functionality that you've been using before. So once you're set to go, you would save that report object or save that report, that Word document. Then you can create a new layout. So if I said new PO report, this is going to be a Word doc and new drag and drop functionality now. So I can drag that into that file area and I created my new report. I can set it as default, but I'm just going to run this one so that you can see what it looks like. And I generated it for all open POs, but that's fine. So my PO report didn't have, colors and that sort of thing on it, the one I was working with there. So you can see it doesn't have colors here. So you certainly could strip those out. You don't need to use those, but that allows you then to take those formats and create new reports. I have worked with clients where they've made consistent formatting then with the PO, the sales order, and the invoice. It's really just having those Word docs open and make sure that you're formatting them the same way. But it's fairly straightforward if you know Microsoft Word. Again, the only catch is typically knowing where that developer tab was to get the XML included in it. But anyway, that's the report format. Word reports are available elsewhere in the system. You notice this format here, the Word layouts. You'll notice that or the layout could also be a Word document. You could experiment with Word docs other places too. I don't know, at least in my experience, there hasn't been a real need to do that sort of thing. Just the standard reports work great if you're looking at a pick ticket, for example, although you can use Word to modify those as well. All right, next thing we want to look at is actually the form letter side of things. And I'm going to go to my customer list for that. Uh, I think this is a feature a lot of people missed in a wave release, and it's really under this actions menu, apply Word template. And I'm just going to run this for my Adatum Corporation here. So I'm going to run a Word template. This is just a customer letter that I created in the system. I'm going to say next. I'll just go to a Word doc, finish. And the system is going to create a Word document for me. And essentially what it's doing is a mail merge. So if you're familiar with how mail merges work inside of Word in general, exactly the same concept here. So what you'll notice is that the name and address dropped in, the amount due dropped in, and then this is just a standard format. So if I wanted a quick collection letter, maybe I've got collection letter A, B, C, D. If I've got different versions of a collection letter, something like that, maybe increasing severity or something like that, I could have multiple templates set up, but it's going to use then, in this case, the customer record as the basis of the data that's going to be merged into the report. So you'll see this off of customers and vendors primarily. They're adding it other places, but that's primarily where you're going to see it. So let's talk about how to get one of these in the system. There's a new template option down here. Like we saw with the report layout, there's also a Word template page that has all of them. So you can go there and work with it too. Otherwise, you can just click a new one here. So collect a new template. Because I'm on the customer record, it knows that the customer is the base table that I'm looking at, so I don't have to select anything there. I do have the option then to add other related entities if I wanted to. So unrelated entities, but related entities. If I want to take the salesperson ID and then actually drop the salesperson name, something like that into the form letter, I can do that. I'm not going to do that now, but you certainly could add related entities. Click next, and then what I can do is I can download this blank template. What you're going to see with the template is you're going to get two files. And the two files here is one is your data source information, and the other one is actually the customer template. Okay, the customer template is where the actual report is created. Okay, so the mail merge side. So I got to find my data source. So that's not a big deal. That connects it together. So what I did is this is the one we looked at before. I used then the mail merge functionality to drop in these fields. So what you'll see is insert merged fields. There are all the fields off of my customer. There's underscores that are put in here, but it's the same in terms of naming conventions. It's the same as what you see on your customer record. So insert those records, the values, the fields, that I want to in my mail merge, save the report. And then when you're going to go back in here into the Word layout, so we'll just say this is done. What I can do is I can actually upload the template. So I hit next on that next piece. I can upload the template back. That puts the Word template back into the system and makes it available to me. So I can still, that's how I get a new one. I can also download. So I can take the Word template that was there and this customer one, and I can actually download it if I want to, if I needed to make additional changes to it, and then upload it back into the system. So that is Word templates for mail merge, but also Word templates around purchase orders, sales invoices, if you want to go that route. So that is the content I wanted to hit. A couple follow-up things. So encourage you to try Word reports or mail merge templates. Check them out. They're pretty straightforward in terms of making that work. The only key to that PO, sales order, sales invoice thing is to make sure you get that developer menu item, and that is just under the list of menus. You just check it. It's pretty straightforward. I also encourage people to check out the release notes for the wave releases. This is Word templates. Um, I think were missed by a lot of people. So if you're looking for a form letter, a quick way to get some output out, that is available in the system. Again, I think a lot of people missed it. I encourage you to check out the business roadmap too, Business Central roadmap. You can look at plan features, new features. You can vote on features that are out there. You can actually submit suggestions, product suggestions as well for Business Central. Microsoft pays a lot of attention to this too, so check that out. Stoneridge, we're here for you. A variety of services that we offer. I want to highlight two here. One of them is our support team. So way over on the right, we can do subscription support plans with Business Central. We can do pay-as-you-go support plans. Our support team is amazing. A tremendous amount of real implementation support experience on that team. It's not the newbies. It is people with real solid experience that can help you with your problem, with your system. If you're even on an older version of Nav, for example, we've got people that have experience with that, so they can help you out. Another one I like to highlight is organizational change management. This is a lot of our enterprise clients use it, but I think there's a lot of real need for it with SMB, that small and medium-sized businesses as well. Working with your internal team, how do you implement the system, but then how do you bring your team with you as you're implementing it? That's really about organizational change management. How do you introduce change? How do you keep your team positive? How do you keep your team on board? How do you keep them moving? We've got just a great team of people there that can help you work through those change issues within your organization. These apply outside of just a system implementation as well. Any change that's in your system, in your environment, in your organization, they certainly can help you with.